Every time it appears that the unity of Nigeria is threatened, the North will always come acting as the ones that are crazy about the unity of Nigeria, the ones that are saddled with the responsibility of keeping Nigeria one. But we may want to ask, why do the North always insist that Nigeria should be one? Or, as they will always put it, the unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct. The truth about this whole thing is the landlord mentality. They believe they own Nigeria and their property should not be broken into pieces. And until that mentality, particularly with the Fulanis, until that mentality is broken, the entitlement mentality that they own this country will never be stopped. The entitlement mentality that Nigeria belongs to them. Nigeria is an estate bestowed on them by their great-grandfather, Uthman Dan Fodio. Until that mentality is broken, the problem of Nigeria will continue to persist. I said it. I say it. Now, the truth here is this. Do they not truly want Nigeria to be one? Yes, of course they want Nigeria to be one, but for the wrong reason. They want Nigeria to be one so that it sustains their landlord mentality. They own Nigeria and they should rule over it. This is why whenever another person comes and is ruling, they try everything possible to distort such administration, such as in the case of Goodluck Jonathan. And we want to add Tinubu. And we accept what they are doing to Tinubu because Tinubu in himself is a bad leader. Otherwise, if the North truly wants Nigeria to be one, then there are many things that the North must stop. Number one is the Sultan of Sokoto. An emir in his capacity should start acting like a father, devoid of any proclivity to religion, particularly Islam or tribe. If you're an emir, you should be seen to be given this aura of being a father to all, irrespective of religion, race, or region. But that is not what he does. He silently supports every evil or ills that his northern brothers or his northern brethren do in this country. Now, if truly the North want Nigeria to be one, the way they conduct Islam in the North must be revisited. The Islam they conduct in the North must be able to accommodate others that are not of the Islamic faith. They must stop this idea of trying to impose Sharia on everybody. In fact, we should begin to answer the question, is Sharia recognized by the Constitution? We cannot operate two constitutions in the same country where in one person you apply one law to the person and then the other person apply that law. If we are truly one Nigeria, we should operate one common constitution and one common law, one common punishment to everybody. We cannot be in a country where the dictates of the practice of Islam overrides the constitution. Thirdly, if Nigeria must be one, everybody, irrespective of your religion, race, or tribe, or region, must be subject to the same punishment. Not a situation whereby the person who does not carry arm is serving a life sentence in Sokoto. Then the one who actually does carry arm, and not just carry arm, unalive people, is given a 20-year sentence. So that after 20 years, if possible before the 20 years, who knows if he's even in the prison cell? Is probably out. So these disparages must be addressed. If you truly want Nigeria to be one, you must begin to allow Christians to be vice chancellors of universities in the North. You must begin to allow Christians to begin to attain the position of directors and PAMSECs in civil service secretariats in the North. You can't begin to imagine the persecutions Christians in the North go through, especially Christians in the far North. We must begin to allow a northern region where everybody is equal, irrespective of what religion you practice. You want Nigeria to be one? Fine. Of course, everybody wants Nigeria to be one, but not the type of oneness you want, where Muslims or Fulanis as superior to any other tribe. You want Nigeria to be one, then start acting, not demanding. Start acting like people who truly want Nigeria to be one. You want Nigeria to be one, then you begin to designate cows as animals. Don't begin to place rights that cows have rights in country. Put cows where they belong. Stop Sharia and stop this cow grazing. We cannot bend civilization to accommodate the refusal of the Fulani culture to assimilate contemporary lifestyle. If Muhammad were alive today, he will not use camel. He will be using jet and aeroplane. Sometimes maybe power bike. So life change is a constant. We must adapt to the yearnings of the dynamics we face today. Not draw today's dynamics to suit the medieval ways of the past. We must begin to accept the fact that times do change. And those people you are unalive in the churches you are burning, the people that are worshiping in those churches were created by God. God did not create one human being to be superior to the other or to be better than the other one. God does not create human beings with defects. So the problem of the North is the mentality and the self let me put it this way, the idea that some people are employed to protect Islam or soldiers of Islam. You must begin to allow Islam in the North to defend itself and not employ yourself as soldiers that look out for people who go against Islam and impose some very barbaric punishment like outright burning, like the case of the lady in one of the high institution in the North. Is it Deborah? You just, and somebody comes out and boasts, "Na me bonam, I'm the one nine na samuta uta." This barbarism. Now one of my lecturers I talk and does this. This form of barbarism must stop. You want Nigeria to be one? Start assimilating contemporary lifestyle that suits the dynamics of today's world. You cannot force us to accommodate archaic medieval cultures that have retrogressive consequences. We must move forward. We cannot wait for you. You want to move now and make this country great again. Please follow this page and share this post now.